this video, we're gonna take a look at a couple of different pieces of outerwear. So jackets, coats, anything that covers other clothing tends to be bulkier and has a slightly different fit. Also, it has a tendency to have a lot more hardware and trim pieces like zippers, snaps, and other kind of complicated details. The alterations that we can make to jackets are similar to other suit jackets or lighter jackets. We can often still shorten the sleeve by removing the cuff, take in the width of the sleeve, take in the width of the body through the side seam, and possibly shorten the hem. Now, in this particular jacket that we're looking at, we have a few complications. We've got snaps down the front that run through the zipper in between. So on this particular jacket, we would not be able to move the zipper, so we wouldn't be able to shorten the hemband. You see, the snaps are punched all the way through, which means that we would have to destroy everything to be able to alter that in any way. So we're not going to be able to do that. However, we can do quite a few other things. We can shorten the sleeve by resetting the cuff. And to give the customer an idea of what that would look like, we are either going to pin up with the folded amount inside, or like we have on many other cuffs, just pin the excess material out above the cuff. But we don't want to flip up. We want to leave the cuff as is to give the customer the best perspective of what the alteration will look like when completed. We can also take in through this underarm seam, through the armhole, and straight down the side. The only difference with outerwear is that they are often fully lined. So later the alteration will be completed inside to the lining and to the outer shell of the jacket. When we take a look at the back of the jacket, we also sometimes will have the option to take in through the center, or if the jacket is really boxy, we could add darts to shape and give the back some structure. In general, we want to keep in mind that the customer will be wearing clothing under this garment. So the most important thing that we can do is make sure that they move around and are still comfortable with the idea of wearing one or even two layers under this garment. So it's not going to be as tight as other clothing. Other than that, the alterations are very similar. So with this next piece of outerwear, we're going to take a look at just the cuff and hemband. With this encased elastic, we can often make this elastic tighter or replace it altogether because it's just encased in there. So we can open that seam and pinch this tighter or put an entirely new piece of elastic in there to really update this fit on something like an athletic jacket like this. Same with the hemband. We'll just pinch that out to show how much smaller we want it to be. And if the elastic is worn or stale, meaning that it doesn't stretch or retain its stretch, that can easily be replaced. Other than that, the alterations that are available on a jacket like this are sleeve width and a little bit of body width. But this is a very athletic fit, so often a jacket like this is just going to require tighter sleeves and tighter hem. Next, let's take a look at this standard puffer style jacket. So these jackets are really interesting because they're very common and they're very popular, and often they will get little holes where the down or filler will start to puff out of them. And this is a really difficult item to fix, unfortunately. The way that this fabric and filler it works is that once we start sewing, every needle hole punch, trying to sew the hole closed makes more holes. So unfortunately, the filler just continues to come out. So we don't have a lot of options with patching this jacket, unfortunately. Sleeve length, hem length are unfortunately not adjustable on this jacket.